we're gonna be making stuffed cabbage soup. Right now I can't film with my phone because SD card issues, so I'm gonna make do with the tablet, and the camera's a little bit different on this, so let's get started. Man, the lighting's not good on this tablet. So for this recipe, we're gonna kind of just throw it together today. You're gonna need celery, carrots, about 10 ounces worth, as well as onion. This is a Mirapu mix. And I may throw both of these in. You can do however. You're gonna need a can of tomato juice, 2 cans of tomatoes. You'll need equal amounts of water, 2 or 3 of these. You're going to need rice. Now I don't like white rice, but traditionally that's what it has. But I'm going to be using brown and wild rice. I will be throwing in tomatoes. The recipe doesn't call for it, but I'm just going to use it. You'll need a head of cabbage, beef bouillon, and a mix of hamburger and Italian sausage. You will also need, now this is about a little over 2 pounds worth. You will also need your spices. I don't have them out. You need salt, pepper, garlic, onion, a little bit of Cajun seasoning, chives, and some parsley and celery seed. Let's get started. Okay guys, you're going to need a pot about this big, and you can choose to saute the Mirapu mix or not. This is going to work, so I'm going to put some oil in here and just get it going, because I don't have a lot of time tonight. Saute this on low. Get this going. I got about 2 hours before I gotta go to bed, so we're just gonna roll with this. These until they're tender. Put some salt in here. I think I've got to change burners. There's something under here. Best we can with what we've got. Fortunately, this is what it's like to film when you are in a bit of a hurry and you've just got stuff going on in life. I promised that I'd film this, and I intend to keep that promise. Normally I don't add this stuff to when it's sauteing, but we're just going to save some time and do it. Okay, I'll be back. Be back when this is done. We're just going to cook this till it's translucent. Alright guys, we're going to go ahead. I've sauteed this. It's not... Sorry, had to sneeze. Let's try this again. I've sauteed this. It's not quite translucent, but that's what we're going to do. You can brown this ahead of time if you want to do that. This is browned and frozen, and I'm just going to throw it in. well because I need the protein. Basically, we're just going to throw everything in and let it cook until the rice is done. Okay, 2 cans of tomatoes. And rinse this out with water. You just add the water to the soup can. There's no circle. I'll get a can opener for this. I just had a lot to do today, and the day has just gotten away from me. I had to just ground today. I went rollerblading, and I was so just tensed up today after church. I had to go do something else. And I had to go run a bunch of errands. So I'm doing this because this will be my lunch for the week. Courtney to do it, and I said I'd film it, so that's what I'm going to do. We're going to throw these tomatoes in. And they're just small, so they're not going to hurt nothing. Then put this in. You know what? I was looking for a church key, but I don't see it. I'm not sure where my church key is. What that is it's the thing that makes the triangle-shaped holes in the can of juice. So I'm just going to open it this way, and I may or may not use the whole thing. Got to make sure I leave room for the cabbage to go into the pot and the rest of the ingredients. Traditionally, I think I've said this, but the recipe uses white rice. I don't eat white rice, so I'm using wild and brown. It doesn't sit well with my stomach. I'm just going to put enough liquid in here so that the ingredients have, there's space for everything. And I may end up adding more water to this later to rinse this can out. Now, I'm going to do about half of each of these bags for rice. Another thing I'm going to do, the recipe doesn't call for it, but I'm going to add about this much in. I need nutrition in my body because I don't I don't absorb enough vitamins. This has a lot of B vitamins and A and zinc in it. Plus, combined with the rice, it also makes a complete protein. These will only take about 8 minutes to cook, so I'm going to add them when the rice is mostly about halfway done. As far as the cabbage, we're going to chop it, and it's not going to get added. The whole head will get added, but it won't get added until the end. You don't want to make it mushy. You just want to tenderize it. Brown and wild rice. Wild rice is actually more of a, it's not so much of a rice as it is a grain, like a full grain. Rice is kind of its own thing. And brown and wild rice both are more nutritionally complete, less starchy. So this isn't keto, but it's better than straight up rice. What what you can do is pressure cook this rice ahead of time if you choose. Quite frankly, I don't think I'm going to have time to do that. You can do this recipe in an Instant Pot too. Also good with black and red rice, which is really similar to wild rice, just a little bit different nutritional profiles. To buy my rice in bulk on certain things. The wild rice and rice pilaf. They have good deals there. I just can't seem to get it open here. So I think I'm gonna have to just rice in, and you just want enough liquid to cover it. You'll probably want to add more water later. As far as this goes, we're going to add some beef bouillon, and this is probably a good 1/4 cup. Some water to this. Just enough to kind of rinse out the tomato sauce, the juice can, and this is about an inch from the top, a couple inches. Pause this. I'm going to go clean and chop the cabbage and let this cook. We're going to add the cabbage at the very end. And I'm just going to add the lentils. I'm not going to necessarily film it. Alright, let's throw our seasonings in. We're going to do our everything seasoning. I like that in soup and on a lot of things. Bay leaf. Put these in a lot of soups. Just does something. Italian seasoning. this has a good combination here. Chili, I don't want chili pepper. Celery salt. Chives. Traditionally, that's not in the soup, but I like it. I like the flavor it adds, so it's going in. Let's do more garlic. And I forgot I did add squeezed garlic into this. Through my spices here. See what I can throw in. Chives, fennel, sage, basil, thyme, pizza. Red chili flakes. I don't want red chili flakes. I do want red chili Cajun powder. I had some. Parsley. I like the kick that the red chili powder gives this. Cajun, whatever. Not chili powder. I hate it when my spices get rearranged. I'll get that later. Unfortunately, I cannot find my Cajun pepper. I don't want the rest of the seasoning in it. That I have some Cajun blend, and if you don't want chili pepper, I don't like the flavor it gives. So I'm gonna try just some chili flakes. It's different, but it'll give that little kick of heat that I'm looking for. I don't want a lot. That should be enough. One thing that drives me nuts is when I can't find my spices. I'm particular about those. So, yeah. If you don't like the kick, take it out. Fortunately, this craziness is just life. This is how life goes. We're not always grounded the way we'd like to be. You know? Make the best of it. Be back. I'm going to let this come to a boil and I'm going to get the cabbage ready. Be back. Hey guys. So I know that my attitude in this video isn't very Christ-like or patient. Some days we just have days where we're much more dysregulated and it's just harder to keep grounded in those times. I'm not making excuses, but it's one of those words. I'm not making excuses. It's just, it's a learning process and trying to give myself grace as well as other people. It just, sometimes when it's a bunch of big things and there's been a lot of them, it's hard to stay grounded in the moment and not get irritated over the little things, but it's important. Sorry. When you're rushing to do something, and I have to make this regardless of whether I film it or not, and you also ran out of time, it's just, it throws you a lot. Just really struggling right now to get my self grounded and in a routine again. It's important to take time to accumulate the positives, and I felt that going out to get some exercise was part of that process. I have some things I can complain about, but I'm not going to. I just got home and thought that I had some help with things that I need to have help with and I don't. So, yeah, I'm gonna go deal with that as the soup cooks, and then I will come back to filming and make the best of it, because that's what we gotta do in life. Accumulate positives and make the best of the situations we're in. We've only got one life, right? Soup's no big deal. These little things are no big deal. It's just getting control of your mind and getting control of your attitude. These days happen, they're real. I'm not gonna pretend that they don't happen to me, that everything's always good, but it doesn't have to be negative either. Let's go check the soup. Okay, I think the lentils are done. So now, just check on these, see how done they are. Not quite. They're close. They've got maybe 5 more minutes. So I'm going to let that continue to cook for a few more minutes, and then I'll add the cabbage. Got it chopped right there. Alright, this is about as done as it's going to get, so let's add the cabbage. This is kind of a big pot, so we're going to just add as much as we can, let it cook down. I think we're going to have to add more water to it. I'm making a mess, but whatever. We're just going to add this, and this will cook down in a couple of minutes. This will also release some water into the soup. Well, this is what it looks like. I've got to add the rest of the cabbage to the pot and cook that down and add some more liquid, but I'm going to try a little bit and put this away. It's bedtime. So, be right back. Here goes the taste. Got just a little piece of cabbage, some lentils, rice. Taste the tomato, taste the sausage, taste the rice. Tastes pretty close to how I normally make it, just a little different. Well, hey guys, it's time for me to go to bed. I'm beat. Take care.